For the past couple of days I've been conducting quite a big research about the whole story. Again, I was talking to my grandmother. She gave me some of her photo albums, which made my sentimental heart quite jumping, because it's amazing to have them, because I can very easily describe the whole aesthetics and the clothing and everything. So I was very excited about it, and I also decided that I will go to one of the places which are set in the story as well, which is not that far away from where I live, and I thought that I will just take you with me. But the reason why I'm not talking very loud is that now it's currently not even 6 a.m. because the place where I'm going is church, and right now unfortunately the place is closed for public unless there are masses going on, and the only time we have them now in this church is at 6 a.m. So yeah, hopefully you'll be able to see it for yourself, because it's a really beautiful place, and it's very special for me because I used to go there with my grandmother a lot, and the whole church is the part of my family history, you could say. So many birds, because my grandmother and her mother, they spent quite a lot of time there with nuns, and then also when I was young I was baptized there. My father, he used to be an altar boy, worked as an altar boy for 18 years, and then my parents got married in the church. Then me and my sister were baptized there. I was going there with my grandmother when I was little, because there is this beautiful park surrounding the church, and when I was little and my sister was in a pram as well, we would go there for walks. So it's very, very lovely, and it really makes me sad that now it's just closed, and you cannot go to the park during the normal days. But I mean, I guess that that's how it works today, because some people go there and do a mess everywhere around, so that's what you have to do, unfortunately. But I got up quite early today so I can go there and I can see the place myself again, because now I go to different church a little bit normal days, so this is very nice and sentimental work for me. Also, this is quite unusual setting for me, because having camera so close to my face and filming on the public, but luckily it's not even 6 a.m. so there is no one, so that's very good for me. But yeah, I'm very excited, so we can just go and we'll see how the whole thing will go. And this is even more weird for me to walk with the camera, so bye. Okay, so that was really lovely. I actually stayed for a little bit of the whole process, which was very nice to hear again. The interesting thing is that usually when I was little, these masses at 6 a.m. would be only in Hungarian, because as I mentioned before, the time when my story is set in, or at least some part of it, when my granny was young, this whole village used to be occupied by people who were able to speak it was occupied by people who were able to speak Hungarian and German and Slovak and Czechish language, because we were one state, with Czech Republic. So for that reason, usually the masses at 6 a.m. were in Hungarian, and for a while I was thinking if it's going to be same now, but no, they already switched to Slovak, which is quite shame. But I mean, I guess it makes sense, because not many people, or basically no one from my generation, would go to those masses anymore, because people cannot speak so many languages right now, so they switched to Slovak. Right, and I thought I would tell you a little bit more about the history of the church, but because the time passed and there were more people coming around and so many cars, I decided to leave, because I still don't feel that comfortable to be filming on public. So I decided to go home, and now I'm back in our garden, and I just wanted to let you know about the history of the church a little bit, because there is no that much information, because it wasn't like a big castle for the whole town, but this was built in 1902 by one count who used it as a summer house, quite a big summer house, and it's hard to believe, but the whole area around the church and all the streets, they were basically a forest. So he used it for summer house and also for hunting. But then in 1930s, I think, he decided to sell it for some personal reasons, or what was it? And the congregation of nuns bought it, and they turned it into a monastery so they could live there. And also another building which was right next to it was turned into the hospital and hospice, which is how I remember it, because when I was young, I know that there was one place where there would be the church, and right next to it would be hospital. So very often when I would go there with my granny for walks, we would just wave to older people, which was quite nice. So that's how I remember it. But as I said, it's quite shame that now it's closed for public, but yeah, it's not the first church I realized that been closed in normal days or like during the day. So that's just something that things are happening in this way. But I'm very excited I could show you, because the place is really beautiful, and I will give you little updates on my writing in a while. But I'm gonna go inside and have some breakfast because I'm really hungry. So back home after breakfast with tea. So when it comes to my writing progress, I must say I'm quite happy so far, because I'm not writing every single day, but once I sit down to it, I'm able to write actually around 4,000 words in one sitting, which is great. And by this point I reached kind of the half of the word count, because I already do have around 25,000 words, I think, which is probably the half from 50,000, yes. So I'm quite happy with that. But one thing that happened to me is that as I was writing the story, I realized that some of the parts are kind of taking its own direction, which I think it's normal when you're writing, but that saying that characters goes their own ways and they start to live their own life and they start to form themselves. Well, that's what is happening to me. And on one hand, it's really surprising, because I realized that as I was writing it, it seems really natural for me to just make up some parts of the story, which I think on one hand works quite well and I don't mind it, but then on the other hand I'm quite sad because it's going a little bit different direction from what I was expecting originally. But then on one hand I don't mind it very much, because I know that even my grandmother, even though I got her blessing and her permission to write this story and also change some parts of it, I know that she's quite shy and modest when it comes to talking about her life. So I know that it's okay if I change some details in order to make the story work. But in the same time, personally for me, I just really wish that I could capture the whole story as it really was. But when you think of it, even the biographies themselves, when you write a proper biography, it's not exactly word by word how everything happened. So we'll see how it goes, but so far I'm still excited about the story. I cannot wait to finish it. And as I said, I'm quite fine with the time and with the word count I already have, so I'm just gonna keep writing and I will see what will happen next. I done my research so far, so I'm gonna keep building on the top what I already have, because obviously I had to do a lot of research last year, but it's always good to speak with Granny when I have a chance, even now, and ask new information and the new stuff about the story. So I'm very excited about that. Also, one rule I set for myself is that I am not reading anything what I've written so far, because I know that once I would start, I would just be trapped in, being tempted to still rewrite, and I would never move forward with the story. So I said that until I write the first draft completely, I'm not gonna read anything from what I've written. So I'm quite worried about the day when it comes and I will have to read it, and then I realized that I need to rewrite like 90% of it, but you know, writing is rewriting, so but that's just something I said I'm not gonna do right now, because I know it would really hold me back and I would still try to rewrite story already now and just make it better. But unless I know how everything ends, and once it's not done yet, there is no point for me to rewrite something from the beginning when I don't have ending yet. So that's the plan for now. So I think I will take myself now and I will keep writing a little bit more, because I also do have a meeting with my supervisor next week, so I need to give her some updates on the progress, and she's also still asking me where I'm heading with the story next after it's finished, which is obviously good to think about, but a little stressful at this point because I just want to have this done first. But then we spoke about the opportunity of maybe write some bits of the story in Slovak and present it at some place where they could be interested in some historical parts. I don't even know actually. I need to have a think about it, and especially for the meeting, because she really wants to know what I came up with, and so far I don't have many ideas because I'm really focusing on writing, so that's what I'm gonna do now. And yes, so that's the plan.